It makes you do everything and anything you want, and you begin to forget your past. You begin to forget that you are once young. You begin to forget that you need energy in order to serve. You begin to forget that you are in a position of trust. You begin to forget that you are a servant, and you begin to think that you are indeed the owner of the countries that you are supposed to serve. And you then begin to look at those who are calling for change as your enemies. And because those who are calling for change happen to be young, you then think that the young people are your enemies. And you then begin to think that they are ignorant. You then begin to think that they do not know what they want, and that you are the person who has the monopoly of knowledge and wisdom, and that you can give portions of it as you deem fit. You live in a world of your own, a world of make-believe, a world where you are all-knowing and everybody is a fool. You live in a fool's paradise. That is what happens to those old people, particularly when they have power and money, and they forget themselves. They suffer from what I call selective amnesia. It is a result of a selfish mind. It's a result of megalomania. It's a result of people whose minds are dominated by narcissism. They are narcissistic. They believe that they are the alpha and omega. They believe that they are it. And it is a product of greed. It is a human problem. It is a human problem, but it varies in its extent and depth from society to society. If you look at every society and you look at their history, you will always find that there were people who believed. Is it King Louis the 13th in France, or Louis the 15th, when he was asked, what is the state? He said, l'état c'est moi, I am the state. And you will look at throughout history, throughout the world, whether it's in Europe or Asia or anywhere in the world, leaders who believed that they were demigods, and that is why wars have been fought. That is why monarchs have been killed throughout the ages. That is why those in positions of leadership have been killed. So the problem is a human problem, and it's only humans who can solve it, and humans being solve it by being aware and by being clear of what they want and making demands of what they want. Because those in positions of leadership also have the sense of self-preservation. When they are scared sufficiently, then they concede. They concede in order to survive. Some would tell you that sometimes we don't even elect them. They just rig the system and then we declare them elected. But there is also something that happens, particularly in many African countries, is that when we are called upon to vote, we vote for the wrong reasons. In multi-ethnic African countries, people vote individuals because they are from their ethnic group, or they vote people because they have been bribed. When you vote people for the wrong reasons, then you end up with the wrong people. And when you vote people because of their ability to deliver, then you have men and women who can deliver. So it is important that people are also educated about the vote. Why are you voting? Why are you voting an individual A and not an individual B? Why are you voting somebody who is known to make promises that he or she can deliver simply because they come from your tribe? And as I said a little earlier, in Greek history, and there was this categorization which is important to repeat again, they are idiots. Idiots who don't want to participate in the affairs of their nation. They think things will just work in and of themselves. Then they are tribalists. And these tribalists, they think that they are only safe with people who are from their tribe. And tribe can mean people from the same culture, same language, or same culture. Then they are citizens. These are individuals who are responsible and know that when you want to be served, you must give those who have the desire and the intellectual capacity to serve you. In many societies, it is only a small percentage of people that can be called citizens, not more than 5%. And if a society wants to grow in the right direction, civic education is what will help the idiot and the tribalist to become a citizen. That is why we must invest in civic education, to change the idiot to begin thinking properly, to change the tribalist to begin thinking properly. And once they begin thinking properly, they become good citizens, then the ballot makes sense. In many African countries, the ballot does not make sense because it produces individuals that you cannot recognize. Yeah, we have elected them and we are stuck with them. And once we are stuck with them, they do the wrong things and we suffer the consequences. And then we start complaining again the day after the election. And then when an election comes again, then we elect them because we are idiots and tribalists. Then another election comes and then we elect them and we complain again. Then in many African countries now we begin to pray and fast, waiting for God to come and salvage ourselves from ourselves. Identity, you can never deny identity. You can never deny that people want to identify, particularly when people have been downtrodden for a long time, they have been denied opportunity for a long time, then they believe that one of their own will give the thing that the other one could not. And that is something that is very difficult to fight, that birds of the same feather will flock together. But there comes a time that you begin to realize that the mere fact that somebody is of your same ethnic group or from the same language is not necessarily the answer.